You have just turned to the hottest podcast in your ear right now. This is the Dre Mack Show.
What's up? Man, it's been a minute, man. Welcome to the Dre Mack Podcast Show. I am your host, Dre Mack. Again, it's been a minute since I've been on because I was sick. I had the flu. Just trying to get better. And you got situations going on, family situations and stuff like that. So, I had to take some time out, to get myself together, get my family situation together, especially when you're dealing with children and stuff like that. You got to do everything possible to make sure that they're good. So that's what I've been doing. But man, I completely miss you guys. And if you notice, anybody who follows me on Facebook, is that I haven't been posted. Normally I'm posting constantly, going through debates and stuff like that. I really haven't been on that lately. I post here and there. Of course, I've been doing my 28 days of Black History. That I'm doing, of course, for the month of February. And normally, I last year I did 365 days of Black History. Every day I had something about something that had to do with Black African history. So today, what I'm going to do, the show is called Who is Joy Villa? Because one thing that popped up on my thing and I shared it is that the lady Joy Villa, she went to the Grammys and had on her Donald Trump Build a Wall shirt. I mean, dress or whatever it was. To me, it was ugly. But this is the thing. I'm gonna talk about this, and I'm gonna talk about a little bit more. Hopefully, I can get to my interview with my man Brandon Cobb from Cobb World. Hopefully, we can get that done today. But let me just say this. When it comes to people like that does these eccentric things, like have a dress that says "Build the Wall." Mind you, you could do whatever you want to in this country, kinda, except for taking knee for social injustice. But that's neither here or there. But you can do whatever you want in this country. You know what I mean? If you want to have a Build the Wall dress on, a shirt, or a MAGA hat, by all means necessary, do what you feel like is necessary. With that being said, remember there's always going to be backlash for whatever you do. Now, why do I say that? You had a little boy who took a knee during the Pledge of Allegiance. Honestly, I wasn't mad at him about that. But again, that's neither here nor there. But a little guy took a knee for the Pledge of Allegiance. 10 years old, has enough sense to say, you know what? I'm taking a knee for racial injustice. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking the knee for racial injustice. I don't feel it's right that we categorize and marginalize people of color. A little boy is 10 years old and completely understands the severity of racism in America more than some people that are grown. You know how, this is what I'm just saying. Do you know how bold that was for one to be a 10-year-old little white kid that have enough gall to say, you know what, I'm going to speak up for somebody else. And for that alone gives me a round of applause. For that alone. Because he took it upon himself to think about somebody else. That is the big key about this. He took upon himself to think about somebody else, not his own things is going on, not his dad or his mom or anything like that. Other people. And that gives me hope for the future, because if children can understand the ramifications of what racism and what racism and slavery and enslavement and all of this did to the people of color, and what we continue to do to people of color, then you could understand, if he could understand that at 10 years old, just thinking what he could be able to change, and be able to change people's viewpoints in the next 15 years. As long as he stays on the path to understanding that it's not an all-white world. It's not. You cannot say America is a melting pot and then try to make it a white world. No, we can't be a melting pot for white society. We are all individuals. We all have different cultures. As black people, you know, I'm saying me being African American, but me as a black person in this country, we have a culture. We do. It's not a white culture. We have our own individual culture. And every day you see our culture on display by other people. That's how powerful our culture is. Our culture is so powerful that you want to mimic and mock it. That's how powerful our culture is. You know, and it's deeply rooted. Our dances, or the way that we talk, the way that we walk, the way that we move, the things that we build, all of these particular things, these are part of our culture that has been passed down before slavery. We just didn't develop these things and this particular type of way that we talk and walk and move and the way that we build and all of this stuff. We didn't just build that overnight. That is something that is ingrained in our DNA from many different cultures that was forced onto on slave ships. Do you think they actually got people to enslave? They could have got anybody to enslave. There's a reason why they enslaved the West Africans. You went and got entrepreneurs. You went and got master builders. You went and got doctors. You went and got psychologists, physicians. You got all of these particular things to help build this country. And more, the culture that we had prior to slavery keeps coming out. We just need to be able to recognize and capitalize on a lot more, so we can be able to give this society the added boost. What I mean is, the boost for our culture, the boost for our economic dollar. All we need to do is tap into that, so we can be able to be a part of that economic food chain, to be a part of this society, and be able to give the change necessary that America desperately needs. That's what I truly feel. What's up, E? What's up, Aaron? So, what I'm saying is that when you look at the things that President Trump has done and he has said, these are the things that divides this country, because it's like you giving leeway to people who think it's okay to be racist, until folks start getting in their head that, hey, we can just bust you upside your forehead and then see what you really want to do about that. You know what I mean? But I think it's more or less we ain't got to do that. All we got to do is be we need to be socially, economically aware of where we spend our dollar. Let me say that again. We need to be socially aware of the economic dollar, and I said this differently. We need to just be aware of where we spend our dollar. Put it more like that. And yes, Marcus, he did. He just giving it an okay. He gave it the thumbs up, or to racism. But it ain't what I want white people to do. I'm not saying all white people. I'm just saying as a majority. Stop thinking racism died. It never died. It just wasn't reported now how it is now when you have the mass amount of social media that's around right now. That's it. That's all it did. All racism did was given a video camera. We've seen bits and pieces of it, like the Rodney King, the Rodney King beating and different things like that. Now everybody has a camera. Yeah, and it is, Marcus. It's and if anybody has ever seen the Netflix special with Killer Mike called Trigger Warning, man, you gotta watch that. Incredible. And matter of fact, right now, make a watch party for this. Bring your friends over. Let's talk about this. Because I'm going to talk a little bit about Joy Villa. I'm still waiting on my man to get on, Brandy Cobb to get on. but yeah, make a watch party for this, because I want other people to just to chime into this, so we can be able to give this conversation legs. Now, I'm gonna talk about Joy Villa, because I absolutely don't know who Joy Villa was until today. I'm like, when I seen okay, all right, my man Brandon just told me he's up on the space, so I'm gonna get to Brandon here in a second. But I'm gonna talk about Joy Villa for just a second. First of all, the dress is ugly. Let's talk about that for a moment. The dress is completely terrible. First of all, you got barbed wire around your neck. To being a young black woman, to be so unaware of the ramification of what you're doing is the problem. That is the problem. You wearing that barbed wire, the barbed wire around your neck reminds me of the picture with the guy, and it's from the 1800s, with the man with the big not barbed wire, the big chain like link around his neck with the things that goes up upon his neck. So if he goes into the woods and he gets snagged on trees running from the slave masters, his whole neck is he could break his neck, or his neck could come, his head could come completely smooth off because of the actual the yoke around his neck. And it's almost like what the Bible said, they'll put the yoke around your neck so you for you to be destroyed. It's the same thing. When I see this, and I see this build a wall, now I've always said this about the wall. Now what you could do is, first of all, in the last podcast I told you, and I gave you the information of what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump felt that you can do a wall or whatever with invisible. What did he say? He said it was he wants to do a steel wall but make it see through, which doesn't sound right. That sounds like something you made up, or you've been watching too much Wonder Woman and you're gonna have an invisible jet soon. Brandon, I'm gonna get you in here in just a second. Matter of fact, while I'm talking about this, I'm gonna just bring you in right now. But when we talk about this, when I seen this, okay, my whole thought about this is that if you want to do a wall, you want to do border control, hire veterans. You always want to talk about how America's backbone is the military and the veterans, and we need to be looking at more veterans. We need to be honoring our veterans. Well, here's your perfect opportunity. I don't know why it went mute, but this is a perfect opportunity right now for you to be able to hire veterans to be able to patrol our borders. For one, you could be able to hire them instead of paying $5.3 billion for infrastructure on the wall. You can use that $5.3 billion to be able to give back to veterans and other people that service in the military, so they could be able to patrol our borders. Number one, you could be able to increase training on border patrol by using our military. Number two, you could be able to hire more veterans to be able to patrol our borders, keeping them in society, in work, and be able to do something that they already had training in before. So this is just my thoughts on this, and I don't know why it's taking so long for my man Brandy Cobb to get on this subject. I'm not for sure what's going on, and now I guess I'm mute. Brandon, Marcus, am I still mute on here, or what's going on? And when I'm talking about this, I'm sorry everybody that's hearing me on Speaker Radio or on Spotify right now. I don't know why it went mute on my Facebook Live, but I got my man Brandy Cobb in right now, man. What's going on, buddy? Why? Oh, you know what? I just noticed something. Give me just a second, man. I'm gonna have to give me just a second. Hopefully this doesn't clear out when I'm doing on Facebook. Just hold on for just a second. I think I know what just went on. I'm coming back, Facebook. Good Lord. All right. Can anybody hear me now? Can anybody hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right, man. What's going on?